Let's go over this again. Not providing the routers to the investigators. It turns out that they did not have administrative access to the machines. The people running the elections did not actually have full access to the machines being used in the elections. Several issues were found with the ballots, serious concerns over security, serious concerns that could have really impacted the integrity of the ballots, and most of all, somebody intentionally or unintentionally deleted the entire database on that election. It says here on May 12th, Arizona Senate President Karen Fann, a Republican, asked Maricopa County Board of Supervisors Chairman Jack Sellers, also a Republican, to cooperate with the state Senate to resolve the issues in question. This includes the county's non-compliance with earlier subpoenas. It says here the county is refusing to supply routers or even images of routers that were used in connection with last year's election, claiming that doing so would pose a security risk.
This letter came from Joseph LaRue, who is an attorney for Maricopa County, and in the reasoning for not turning over the routers, according to this letter, was that delivering them, or even the images of these routers, posed a significant security risk to law enforcement data utilized by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office as well as numerous federal agencies. The letter went on to say that we have previously believed that the risk would be eliminated by redacting the law enforcement data on the routers and not producing it, but we were informed that redaction did not eliminate the risk.
Now, it does seem to be the case the judge ordered them to provide this information. They're saying they cannot do it. They're refusing the judge's orders, it seems.
Judge Thomason, in his ruling, said this, and I quote, "The court finds that the subpoenas are legal and enforceable. There is no question that the senators have the power to issue legislative subpoenas. The subpoenas comply with the statutory requirements for legislative subpoenas. The Senate also has broad constitutional power to oversee elections. The Arizona legislature clearly has the power to investigate and examine election reform matters. Accordingly, the senators have the power to subpoena material as part of an inquiry into election reform measures. As such, the subpoenas have a proper legislative purpose. The subpoenas also do not violate separation of powers principles. Production of the subpoenaed materials would not violate confidentiality laws."
Because they say it may pose threats to law enforcement security, things like this. Now, a state Senate lawyer said last week, this is the state Senate, not the Maricopa County officials, said last week that the body would issue fresh subpoenas unless the requested materials were produced. But Fann instead opted to write a letter to Sellers seeking to convince him to cooperate voluntarily.
Come on, Karen. Turn into a real Karen. "Sir, let me speak with your manager. We have to go on the offense here. We can't be wimps. Come on, let's do this, Karen Fann. Come on, Sonny. Let's do this. You know you want to." Let me stop.
"If we find out who these perpetrating communist infiltrators are, they need to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law."
There's a good reason why the Arizona Senate won't just go down there and arrest them. It's because they're friends. They're all friends. They all know each other. They've served on committees together. They're all friends. All of them are in it together. Karen Fann, I trusted you. But they're friends, so they're not going to hurt their friends. Because, oh, poor Jack Sellout. He's my friend.
See what happens with that. It's going to a bit more. It says Fann also expressed concern that the county either doesn't have or won't provide passwords to access administrative functions on vote tabulation machines. It seems that the local officials in Maricopa County did not actually have the administrative passwords for the machines that were being used in the elections. This is pretty serious, and it does seem to be the case, too, that they can't give the auditors access to that administrative function, meaning that key information is possibly off limits unless the companies behind the voting machines choose to provide those.
Is this surprising any of you? It shouldn't surprise you. So yesterday, the demonic voting systems company came out with a letter condemning the Arizona audit. They're not handing over the passwords to the Senate. It's weird how they're actually admitting their position in this whole thing. They weren't just some vendors that provided some dumb machines. They actually conducted Maricopa County's election. And Dumb Onion voluntarily provides access to machines and information to auditors that have been accredited by the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. We happily did so with the independent EAC accredited providers that Maricopa County hired for system auditing earlier this year. You mean the same company that certified the equipment that actually works for you? That's the company you believe is accredited to audit, to do an independent audit? They came in to do a logic and accuracy test, not an audit.
In the United States, it's the state legislature that's supposed to oversee the elections. And frankly, if the state legislature did not actually have control of the elections, that is a pretty serious finding. But they've actually found some even bigger stuff. Auditors, the top senator continued, have, quote, become aware of apparent omissions, inconsistencies, and anomalies relating to Maricopa County's handling, organization, and storage of ballots. That includes a lack of chain of custody documentation for the ballots, bags in which the ballots were stored not being sealed, and a disparity between the actual number of ballots in a batch and the total listed on a pink report slip accompanying the batch which the county provided. Additionally, the audit teams found an entire database directory deleted from an election machine. Somebody seems to intentionally or accidentally deleted an entire database directory from an election machine. It says, even though the details appear to have been covered by the subpoena. Now, combined, it says, with not finding the main database for the election management software, Fan said, quote, this suggests that the main database for all election-related data for the November 2020 election has been removed. You hear that? Let me say it again. This is Fan saying this suggests that the main database for all election-related data for the November 2020 general election, all the election-related data, the main database, has been removed.
Maricopa County deleted a directory full of sensitive information about law enforcement that they did not want us to know. It was clearly not election files that federal law actually puts you in prison for deleting. Yeah, the federal code actually says you have to preserve everything, the files, records, anything, the applications for 22 months subsequent to an election. So yeah, it's not that. They didn't delete that. They were deleting sensitive law enforcement information. Okay, I will prove that to you by just clicking on the picture. Oh, it says adjudication store. It says tabulation store. Wow. Maricopa County template, bilingual. Wow, it looks like it says a lot of information that we should probably know. Now keep in mind, most of these files aren't even from 2020. Some from March, some from 2019, some from the 2018 general. Wow, but more importantly, November 3rd. Wonder why that'd be so important to delete.
Somebody deleted it, intentionally or unintentionally. Now, given that, they're choosing to not subpoena the local officials to figure out why that happened. They're asking them to voluntarily appear and to explain who deleted the data, right? They're telling them to voluntarily show up now and explain what happened to the data. Why were all these security protocols for the ballots not being followed? Why did they not have administrator access to the machines they were using in the elections? Each of these is pretty serious. And also, why are they refusing to provide these routers to the investigators, right?
You know, is there something you're hiding here? Look, to the Arizona Senate, I'm not sure if Karen Fan responded yet, or Warren Peterson, the head of the Judiciary Committee there in the Senate, but I'm pretty sure this is against the law. It looks to me like they're able to recover these files. Evidently, it says recover. Recover, so I'm guessing they could select any of these files and recover them. But this is definitely still spoliation of evidence. They're tampering with it. So Karen Fan sent her letter. They absolutely ignored it. These people should be in prison. You deleted system files that you shouldn't have deleted, and now they're coming back barking as if they have any real power. Judge Thomason said the subpoenas were legal and enforceable. The Senate in Arizona has to enforce these subpoenas. Don't write new subpoenas. I don't care. You subpoenaed all the data. You subpoenaed all the routers. You don't need more. You also asked for the passwords. You can enforce this.
If you like this video, press like. If you love it, subscribe.